Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this trendy halter neck high-low flare gown. It has side pockets. If it's something you're interested in, you want to keep watching, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get right into this tutorial. So to start off, I have my elastic and I have a lightweight crepe fabric of about 2.5 yards. So if you're on the bigger side, you'll be needing about 2.5. You're on the smaller side, 2 yards will work perfectly for you. So I just went ahead to show you how to fold this. We're going to be folding our fabric just like the way I folded my paper. We're going to be folding in bias into a triangle form. So after folding, you want to ensure that you're placing this properly. Since I'm doing this on a table, I'm going to ensure that my fold is equal so that while I'm cutting, I'm not going to have any mistakes. So now we're going to start taking our measurements. I have my fabric well folded. So what you want to do is to divide your round bust by 4 and then you add 1 inch to that. The 1 inch extra will be for joining at the side, and then you're going to place it in a slanted form just like I've placed going towards the top. So I'm working with 9 inches because my round bust divided by 4 is 8 inches, then 1 plus 1 inch, that is 9 inch. So I'm going to make a slanted line coming from the up to meet that part like so, as you can see. So this gives me that triangular form. I hope you can see the lines I am marking here. Okay, so I have the line there. Now on the lowest part of the line, I'm just going to make a straight line because that is like that's the lowest point of our line. Now the next thing you want to get is the full length of your gown, where you want it to end, how long you want it to be, or how short you want it to be. It totally depends on your preference. So you can see that I'm placing my tape from the tip down to that point which I have, where I have my lowest line measured. I'm placing it down to that point, and then I'm going to take my full length round this. So whatever your length is, you're going to minus what you have from the point, from your apex point of your fold to where you have the lowest line where we marked earlier, and you're going to measure it all round. So you can make this as long as you want. You can also make this into a maxi gown, but just know that it requires more fabric for you to achieve that. Okay, so I'm just going to take my tape round and just get my round measurement. So since this is a flare, you have to take your tape around it so you can have your flare well curved out. So I'm just going to join my lines together so that it's easier for me to cut out. So you can see what we have there at the base. So now that I have this properly, I'm going to just pin it and go in with my scissors to cut out. So now we have our front piece. I'm going to make a notch at the midpoint. I'm going ahead to also fold again for the back. I folded it just the same way I folded my front, and I'm using my pins to hold them down, also ensuring that I fold them at the right places and pin it down so that it is equal. Okay, you don't want to have this one part longer than the other. So now what we're going to do is to bring in the front piece and we place it on top of this. So the back has an elastic. It means that the back is wider than what we have in front. For you to achieve that elastic, the excess you need for your elastic, you're going to bring down your fabric. It depends on how much you want it to be. So for me, I want mine to be 6 inches extra at the back. I measured this and I noticed that it was over what I wanted, and I'm going to just adjust my fabric to ensure that I have that 6 inches. So you're going to place it ensuring that the center fronts, they are aligning, and then just take the measurements as you can see I'm doing. So when you make adjustments, you measure it again. So if you want it to be more, you can actually do that. So now that I've confirmed what I have there, I'll go on and just make a straight line connecting from the front into the back piece. and then I will just make a straight line on my back piece at once. Okay, so this helps me to know that this is where the back starts from. If you want to go down from the back, you can also reduce that to have your back the back neckline more deepened. So because we're adding an elastic to this, I'm adding 1.5 inches extra for my elastic casing. I just marked that throughout and I'm connecting it together. So this is just for the elastic casing. Okay, this is what we're going to have. So now that we've achieved this, I'll pin them together and just go down to the base. So for the high-low effect for this, the sides of our piece is going to be equal. So you're going to have the same thing at the um side back and then the side front. So I'm just ensuring that I have the same measurements at the side front and the side back, just measuring them down. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go over to my center back to make the measurement. So I said this is a high low, meaning the center back is longer than what we have around the center front and the sides. So now to achieve this effect, you need to extend your center back more than what you have on the front. So you can go as low as you can go as much as 10 inches, 15 inches, depending on how low you want the center back to be. For me, I did 5 inches extra, so I just went down from the center front by 5 inches, and I'm going to just use my cover and connect it to the side of the center back. So you just watch how I'm doing this. You can actually use your free hand also if you think that will give you a perfect curve. So this is what I have after I did that. Now I can go in to cut. Remember I said if you want to extend this below 5 inches, you can absolutely do that. Just do what works best for you. Now we can cut at the top area also. So now that I have my piece down, starting off with the center back, I'm going to start off by folding for my elastic casing by folding ½ inch first and folding 1 inch. So this is what I have after I've done that. Now the next thing is to insert the elastic. So what you want to do is to use half of your round bust. Say your round bust is 36, half of 36. That's what you're going to use. Then you further go ahead and minus 5 inches or more, depending on how tight you want it to be around the back area. Okay, so after determining how many lengths, the length you want for your elastic, you cut it out. Use your safety pin to pass it through the elastic casing which you have created. So what you do is to take half of your round bust measurement and minus 5 inches for that, for a tight fit. Okay, because it's meant to be fitted around the back so that it's not slacking, right? So I actually made adjustment to mine according to how I deemed it fit, so you can also do the same thing. So now that I have this, I'll go ahead and stitch it down to hold my elastic in place. So this is what it looks like after I finish. I'll keep the back aside and then let's work on the front. Now what we're going to do is for the front, we're going to open it up. Remember I already made a notch at the center of my notch so that I can place my rope and place my strap. So we're going to be using the strap also to pipe the armhole area for the front. So for the strap, I have 1.5 inches. That is what you should use, and the length should be long enough, okay, because we are going to be cutting out some part of this. Okay, the length should be long enough, like I said, because you'll be cutting out some part of this, but the strap should be 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide. Now we're going to start from the wrong side of our fabric. You're going to stitch it together by ½ inch. You do the same thing to the other one. Stitch to the top where you have the notch. So this is what I have after I stitched that. Now you want to turn it over to the front to fold. So we're folding our piping to the right side of our fabric. Okay, so you're going to fold ½ inch and then close it up all together and stitch it down, right? So I'll do that again. You fold ½ inch, you close up what you had stitched already down. Now you're going to follow through with piping the hands all together because I'll be doing that all together. So while piping, closing up the sides like so, folding half of an inch and folding again to close this end, you're going to take that stitching up to the end of your piece which you've created for your strap. So I'm going to just fold it like so. You can see how I'm doing this, follow through and do that. So this is what it looks like after I finish doing on both of them. Now I'm going to just use my hands to cross my rope across. It's actually easy. By the time you finish, it's easier to cross. Go ahead and stitch it together. So this is what we have after I finish. You can see how nice it looks. Now to fix the pocket, we'll go down from this part by 8.5 inches. The pocket opening is going to be 6.5 inches. I'm going to take the same measurement on the other side. You want to take the measurement on the right side of your fabric, considering that you're going to be stitching your pocket piece to the right side of your fabric. So you're going to come down from the armhole area by 8.5 inches, and then you make from that 8.5 inches you make a 6.5 inches mark again, which is the opening for the pocket. So I'll do that for all my piece, for the front, for the back piece, and then I'll go ahead to cut out the piece for the pocket. Now to cut out my pocket, I have this piece of fabric. I'm folding it into four so I can cut out the four sides I need for the for my pocket. Sorry. So ensure that you're folding this properly. Fold this on the wrong face of your fabric. Now you want to measure the opening of your pocket. Remember I said I want this to be 6.5 inches. That's the opening for my pocket. I'm going to do that. Since this area of this fabric is folded, I'm just cutting off this part because I don't want it to be closed. Okay, now I'm going to just remark what I have already and use my hand to just create the style of pocket I want. Okay, so you can see I'm just shaping that in to create the pocket style that I want for my piece. So now that I'm satisfied with this, I'll go in with my scissors to cut out the parts I will not be needing. So this is what we have for the pockets. You can go ahead to place this. So starting off with the front part of my piece, I'm going to place them right side to right side. So just going to pick a piece, place it right side to right side and stitch it down. Do the same thing to the other side and also repeat to the back side of the fabrics. So this is what I have after I finish. This is the back and this is that of the front also. Now the next thing we want to do is to align our piece together right side to right side so we can stitch them together. You need to place them together this way and work with your pins. Okay, pin it down. And like I said, after making this, you want to check. Okay, before you wrap up, you want to check the elastic part, that's the back part, if you are comfortable with it. If you want it freer or you want it tighter, go ahead and just make your adjustments as you go along. So I'm just pinning them together right side to right side. Then after pinning them together, we're going to stitch. So what we added for the stitching allowance is 1 inch. You want to measure 1 inch from the top part, okay, and then you start stitching it down. So we're going to measure 1 inch from the top, then going towards the pocket, you start stitching by half of an inch. So we're going to measure 1 inch here, stitch by 1 inch into the pocket, you stitch half of an inch and 1 inch to the full length. Do the same thing to the side. So this is what I have. You can see my pockets. This is what it looks like. So the next thing to do is to just fold up the hem, or you can go ahead to just weave that if you don't want to. And then the next thing we want to do is to fix the strap. So you can actually tie the strap around your neck if you don't want to like place it towards the back. Just stick it around your neck area and then tie it up whenever you wear your clothes. It's also going to look nice. Okay, whatever you choose to do. So now we're going to place our strap. I've actually went ahead to wear this and I measured where I want my strap to end. So it's you're supposed to measure that. If you have somebody to do that for you, go ahead. If you want to tie it around your neckline, go ahead to do that. So I'm just pinning mine down due to where I marked, because I wore this on my body and I marked it to where I wanted the fitting of the strap to sit. Okay. So now I'm going to give you the measurement. No, so from the side stitch, you're going to place this at around 6 inches coming from the side stitch. Okay, that's where you're going to place your strap down, and ensure that while you're stitching this on your machine, you're not stitching on top of your elastic. Okay, just stitch on the line you have created before for your elastic casing. So I'll go ahead and stitch mine down to just wrap up this. So that brings us to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful, and also endeavor to follow, turn on your notification bell so be notified whenever a new video is posted, and ensure to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.